So LeBron James is LeBroning in the playoffs. He is absolutely crushing it right now, carrying this Cavs team throughout the postseason. Absolutely did work against the Toronto Raptors, who, by the way, we could make fun of for the rest of the show if you wanted to. So what I have done is I have ranked the top 5 LeBron James playoff performances. Gonna count you down from number 5 all the way to number 1. So with all of these options here, let me say this. There are going to be some snubs, and I want you to call me out if there are some snubs there, and we'll be sure to mention them on the broadcast here. But finding 5 glorious appearances there for LeBron James, it's difficult because there are a lot of great ones in his career so far. 2012 Eastern Conference Semifinals versus the Pacers. Game 4, folks. LeBron looking for that coveted NBA title. This series was tough. This series was gritty. The Pacers had built a 10-point lead in the third quarter and were threatening to run away with this. James scored 40 points with 18 rebounds and 9 assists. Miami rallied to even the semifinal series with a 101-93 victory there. Chris Bosh, by the way, was injured. He wasn't even in Indiana for this game. So James stepped up, had some help from Dwayne Wade in the process. He fired 30 points. And you know what's funny? Shane Battier said after the game, quote, LeBron had that look. And when he has that look, and Dwayne has that look, you want to run through a wall. And that's exactly what the Cavs did in that game. I mean, they were amped up, and LeBron James, I mean, seriously had a fantastic performance. By the way, in this series, that's when Lance Stevenson used that choke signal after LeBron missed a free throw in Game 3. So, yeah, how did that work out for you guys, Pacers? Of course, LeBron's Heat went on to the NBA Finals, and they lost to the Mavs. And Dirk absolutely went off in that final series. I mean, that's a fantastic performance in its own right. So 2012 Eastern Conference Semifinals versus those Pacers in Game 4. That's my number 5 ranking for top 5 LeBron James playoff performances. All right, let's go to number 4 on my list, and we'll jump to 2016, the NBA Finals versus the Warriors. And this was Game 5. The Cavs down 3-1, absolutely turned around the series, of course, starting with this game. You know, 3-1 lead for the Warriors is kind of synonymous with the LeBron James comeback. The comeback of unbelievable proportions here. LeBron fought and fought, pouring in a ridiculous 41 points, 16 rebounds as well, 7 assists, and had 3 steals in this game for the Cavs. This was the turning point in the series, obviously. That's why I have it here in my rankings. You'll see another game from this series later. The Warriors jumped down to a 12-5 lead in this game. And everybody thought, including me, here we go again. Warriors are just going to steamroll the Cavs, and the Warriors are going to capture it all. And obviously, that was not the case. Now, one thing to note, a little footnote on this game here, the Warriors didn't have Draymond Green due to a suspension. So Green, of course, great rim protector. Obviously, there was opportunity for LeBron James to go off, especially to the rack, if Draymond Green really was not there. So there you go. He certainly took advantage of that opportunity. So LeBron in Game 5, 2016 NBA Finals versus those Warriors. By the way, shout out to Kyrie. He balled out as well. 41 points, 17 of 24 shooting for his own credit there. So Kyrie, LeBron both went off in that one. Game 5, 2016 NBA Finals. That ranks at number 4. Let's go to number 3 here, and we're going to stay in this series. It's Game 7 this time, 2016 NBA Finals versus those Warriors. LeBron James capturing his 3rd NBA title, and it came with the Cleveland Cavs. And he brought it to Cleveland. He brought it to his home state of Ohio, and of course there was the block that broke the internet. Less than 2 minutes remaining. As you guys just saw on your screen, LeBron James chases down Iguodala, blocks the layup, and keeps the game tied. This was a signature performance in several ways. First of all, I am ranking this one ahead of Game 5 because Well, the Cavs won the NBA title in this game, so I think that just makes more sense. 27 points from LeBron, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. All right, stat line, good. And then the block, that just adds that extra juice here in my rankings. And LeBron winning the title for Cleveland easily puts this performance at number 3 on my list. Third NBA title, as I said, along with his third NBA Finals MVP honors. Went on to win that series, as you see, 4-3 against those Warriors. And what a performance it was. What a series that was. Just thinking about it from a macro perspective back in 2016, really, really fun NBA Finals to watch. And no, it wasn't Red Sox-Yankees 04 complete turnaround, but still, it's just a glorious performance from James. And I think that highlight there with the block is something that I will always remember as a LeBron fan. You think of the top 5 just moments, plays from LeBron James, and I think the block has to be in there. All right, so let's go to number 2 on my list here, guys. Top 5 LeBron James playoff performances. Let's go back to his Miami Heat days, 2012 Eastern Conference Finals against those Celtics. Game 6. It was a rivalry game, 45 points, and the Heat went on to win this series. James went off, and I was talking with a colleague here at Chat Sports, Harris Rubenstein, who's a great NBA analyst in his own right, big-time Celtics fan too. He said that this performance was individually the best from LeBron James, at least from what he has seen. And, you know, you're hard-pressed to argue against it. I do have it here at number 2. Rivalry game, as I said, the Heat were down a 3-2. LeBron just put on an exceptional evening with those 45 points. 15 rebounds and 5 assists, went 19 of 26 shooting. You know what James once called this game? A defining moment. Not just for him, but for his teammates and for the Heat franchise. Now, of course, those words don't carry as much weight anymore now that he's with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But at the time, or at least a couple of years later, that's when he said it, that, you know, it was a defining moment there for LeBron. So there you go, big-time performance there. And, you know, I will say with this game here, you really saw the LeBron James killer instinct emerge in full force in this matchup against the Celtics, particularly in this Game 6. You just saw it in his eyes. And that's when, you know, I really just saw, like, okay, this guy has a whole new gear. We're still learning more about LeBron. We're still learning about what he still can do in the playoffs. And he just turned into a whole new kind of performance there. So that was in 2012. I gave you guys a sneak peek earlier in the show about number 1 on my list here. I'll give you the full-on analysis. 2007 Eastern Conference Finals, the Pistons, Game 5. Both teams finishing with the Eastern Conference's top 2 regular season records. And, you know, I'm going to give you guys some historical background before I get to my reasoning behind this pick. Game 1 in this series, LeBron scored 10 points, which was a playoff low for him at the time. Then he had some miscues in Game 2. Then eventually Game 5 happened. And LeBron, at 22 years old, 1 year ahead of being able to legally drink, scored 25 straight points in 29 of Cleveland's final 30. Simply remarkable stuff. He forced overtime on a driving dunk with 9 seconds remaining, and then finished the game off in double overtime with a driving layup with 2 seconds left. Chauncey Billups said at the end, quote, "We just couldn't stop him." And Cavs coach Mike Brown at the time said the following, quote, "I feel bad that my words don't do justice for what he actually did." It was an incredible performance back in 2007 against those Pistons in Game 5. And, I mean, you've got to factor in everything here for my rankings and putting it at number 1. His age, the 25 straight points, the flack that he got in the early part of this series with the miscues and only scoring 10 in Game 1. And then out of nowhere, I'm telling you, I don't think a lot of people really, nobody expected 25 straight points. Let's just say that. And he got it done. And it was a remarkable performance. That's at number 1 on my list. Let me know what I missed. And hey, let me know what your favorite LeBron James playoff memory is. Hit me up in the comments section on Facebook Live as well as YouTube. Let me summarize what I got for you guys. So 2007 Eastern Conference Finals against those Pistons in Game 5, the 25 straight points at 22 years old. 2012 Eastern Conference Finals against those Celtics. Game 6, rivalry game, 45 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. 2016 NBA Finals against the Warriors when he went on to capture the title and brought the title to Cleveland. 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. And let's not forget that block in that game. And then at number 4, 2016 NBA Finals against the Warriors. That was Game 5, the turning point in that series, of course, the 3-1 lead. LeBron James not going down without a fight. The Warriors jumped out to that 12-5 lead in the game. Everybody thought it's all over. It was not. And then at number 5, 2012 Eastern Conference Semifinals against the Pacers there. LeBron looking for that coveted NBA title. Miami rallying in that game and evening the series with a 101-93 win. Pacers had a 10-point lead in that game. Didn't matter. James scored 40, 18 rebounds, had 9 assists as well. My top 5 performances for LeBron James in the playoffs. There you go.